Alright, info fans, you asked for it in the comments section, so we did it. We put your favorite and our most expendable lab rat on a 30-day fitness regimen to prove that anybody can get in shape, even if you don't have any equipment. Challenge start. Hey guys, it's the infographics favorite D-class personnel here. My new challenge is actually a welcome one, a stay-at-home fitness challenge meant to show that even if you can't get to the gym, you can still get in decent shape. And to show that it works for both guys and girls, I asked my friend Nova Shea to join the challenge in a head-to-head competition for most improvement. Nova is a singer-actress, and you can check out our Instagram at @NovaShea and on TikTok also @NovaShea. This challenge is simple. We're both going to be doing an exercise routine from home that anyone can do. The only thing you need to follow along is a pull-up bar. The goal is to show that you don't need a gym membership to get fit. And to prove it, me and Nova are going head-to-head at the end with a showdown to see who improved the most. Gym culture can be pretty toxic, and it can be intimidating when you're not in shape and tough to get the courage to go. So a stay-at-home fitness challenge is a perfect way to build some confidence and maybe get you to that next step. This challenge is coming at a great time because I re-triggered an old back injury and haven't been able to exercise for a few months. Plus, the show asked me to pile on the ho-hos and Twinkies before we get started, so I could start this thing in a more even playing field. I happily obliged, though the girlfriend wasn't too pleased when I packed on a few extra pounds in the front. The routine was simple, and I encourage you to follow at home, though remember you should always speak to a doctor if you think you might have any health issues before starting a new exercise routine. First, we start with pull-ups, doing 3 sets of 3 repetitions each, or at least trying to. When we went over the routine, Nova was having a bit of an issue with these, but that just left room for improvement. The great thing about pull-ups is that they don't work just your arms and a little bit of your chest, they also hit your back. Plus, you can do them in a variety of ways to target different muscle groups. Next are some simple calf raises. All you need to do is just stand with your feet flat on the ground and lift yourself up onto your tippy toes, then back down again. This will help strengthen your calves, and if you're a basketball player, you'll enjoy the extra ups you get after a few months of shredding your calves. If you buy some free weights, you can hang on to one of those in each hand and add even more resistance. For us though, we were doing a total of 60 calf raises in sets of 3. Next is squats. If you want a great butt, squats is how you get there. The key is to make sure that your butt goes lower than your knees. If you need to bend forward a bit to get there, go for it. And by the way, if you're doing squats with a barbell and weights, remember that the barbell doesn't go on your neck. It goes under your neck on your upper back. 3 sets of 25 squats will absolutely destroy your legs and butt, and then build them back up to give you buns of steel. The plank has become a popular exercise lately, and with good reason. It targets a whole mess of muscles, but it really is good for your abs and back. Seems simple, but believe me, it is not. The goal is to do 3 sets of 60-second planks, but you might want to start at 30 seconds and build up from there. Next is the good old push-up. If you served any time in pretty much any military in the world, you're familiar with these. The key is to keep your back level and not cheat by putting your butt in the air. The great thing about the push-up is that it's very versatile. You can do it in a variety of different positions to target different muscles. However, we're sticking to the classic with 3 sets of 15 push-ups each. Before moving on though, we're going to hit an entirely different set of arm muscles by switching up to the diamond push-up. For this, you want to bring your hands together in front of your face so they make a diamond pattern, and then you push up and down as normal. These are much harder than normal push-ups, though for some weird reason I seem to have a genetic abnormality that has always made these easy as pie for me. To start though, try these out in 3 sets of 5 each. Alright, let's keep blasting those arms with dips. All you need is the edge of a couch or a bed. Sit up on the edge and put your hands on the bed at your sides facing away from you. Then lean out and simply dip down as low as you can go and raise yourself back up. It's important to remember with all of these exercises, you want to always control your motions. So whether you're doing a push-up or a dip or even using free weights, you want to control the down motion as much as the up motion. So you're always forcing your muscles to experience resistance. Otherwise, they simply won't grow. For dips, we'll start with 3 sets of 10. Next, we target the lower back and the abs with some bird dogs. So named because they resemble the way a trained bird dog points when hunting. You'll want to get on your hands and knees, then bring your left arm and right knee to your chest, then fully extend them both out so you're pointing with both your arm and leg. Repeat without setting either down on the ground, then swap to the opposite arm and leg. Do 3 sets of 15 reps with each side, so 30 total to blast your lower back and abs. And while you're in that position, transition to mule kicks next. This exercise is simple but helps target your thighs and butt. And guys, you really shouldn't overwork the butt because girls like a nice bubble butt. It's as simple as it sounds. Starting on your hands and knees, stretch one leg out behind you at a time and sweep it upwards so your foot is elevated above your head level. Sort of like the stinger of a scorpion. Do 3 sets of 15 kicks with each leg, and start turning that flabby butt into buns so hard you could crack walnuts between your cheeks. The last floor exercise is another oldie but a goodie, a flutter kick. Again, if you've been in the service, pretty much anywhere, but especially the Coast Guard, you know this exercise and you probably hate it. Just lay flat on your back with your hands behind your head like you're going to do a sit-up, then physically bring your upper body up a few inches like you are in fact going to do a sit-up. Hold it, then elevate your legs and begin kicking them one at a time up and down. You should never hit the floor with either your shoulders or your legs, and your butt should remain your point of contact with the ground. Do 3 sets of 60 kicks, and you're ready for the final exercise. This was the one I was dreading more than any other: running. As you longtime fans know, I famously detest running. Much to my surprise, I found out Nova shared my hatred of running, which made 2 of us versus the girlfriend who is a running fanatic. It's just so boring. You either run around in a big circle or you run in place on a treadmill, or maybe you run to a destination and back again. Great, how exciting. Totally not a snooze fest. Anyway, 10 minutes of running to start off is a great way to improve your aerobic capacity, and this will have fringe benefits in pretty much every area of your life. Nova and I took pics before we started. She's already in pretty good shape, so this is basically to prove that this routine can keep you in shape. Me, on the other hand, a few months away from exercise due to injury, and the show asking me to pack on a few pounds definitely took its toll. And just like that, the challenge was on. Whoever had the best performance after 30 days would win a $200 Amazon gift card, so the stakes were pretty high. Now let's fast forward 4 weeks and I'll see you guys on the other side. Alright, it's been 30 days of the exercise routine and I have to admit, it works. Not only have I seen direct results, but well, me and Nova's performance speaks for itself. Our first 2 weeks were pretty rough. They always are when you start a new routine. Nova had more problems with the strength exercises and I had problems with the aerobic portion and, well, pretty much anything targeting abs. That's the price you pay for ho-hos and ding-dongs, which, by the way, I cut completely out of my diet on my quest to get back in fighting shape again. My morning routine started with a protein drink after waking up, then I'd skip breakfast. First things first, I exercised. Since we were supposed to do it every other day, I started running on opposite days, so I always felt like I was being active. Now, normally I'm used to a much more thorough workout routine, but after nearly 5 months off, I was starting close to ground zero. After exercising, I'd walk the dog, then come home to a light breakfast, typically either 2 oranges or a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. I swapped the pork bacon for turkey bacon and went light on the mayo. After doing some work, I'd have a snack, typically either some pistachios or a bag of Popcorners. We're not getting paid to plug Popcorners, but we really should. If anyone from Popcorners is watching this, contact me ASAP, because I'll happily show your product as long as you supply me truckloads of it for free. But despite not getting a single cent from Popcorners, I recommend it. It's pretty healthy and it helps curb cravings for unhealthier chips, which is something I am very guilty of. I'd skip lunch because I'm cutting calories to lose weight. Then at night, I'd either have ground turkey, probably in pasta, or chicken sandwiches. Nothing fancy and no cheese, just grilled chicken, mayo, spicy mustard, lettuce, and tomato on toasted whole wheat buns. If you want to lose weight, especially stubborn belly fat like mine, you need to cut calories and be in a deficit. Exercise alone is never going to be enough. So, how'd I feel? Your results are going to vary, especially if you're not used to a stringent workout routine, but I felt pretty fine. Nova was really struggling with the strength portions, especially the pull-ups, but I was breezing through them. I still had to take it a little easy though, as my back is still healing. When we got to the 2-week mark, we had a little showdown to see who was in the lead and who might be getting that $200 gift card. Unsurprisingly, I did better at the strength events, with Nova doing 1 pull-up and me doing 7 without stopping. It was definitely taking her a lot longer to build up upper body strength, but I had the benefit of muscle memory, which is why my results might differ from yours. In the push-ups department, Nova did 18 without stopping and I managed 30. I was definitely underperforming, but I'd been laid up with an injured back for months, so I figured this was good progress. However, because both of us hate running, we decided we should see who is better in aerobic shape with a swim-off. The rules were simple. Whoever could tread water the longest won. I'd love to say it was a close match, except it totally wasn't. Nova absolutely blew me away by swimming for just over a whopping 43 minutes, and only stopping because, quote, "I'm getting kind of bored." How did I do? Well, I tapped out after about 13 minutes. Yeah, when you aggregate the scores together, I might have done better at strength events than Nova, but she was absolutely winning, and looked set to take the prize at the end of the 4 weeks. After my pool humiliation, I hit the aerobic portion of the exercise with renewed vigor, determined to at least get close to Nova's score. Another 2 weeks of daily exercising and things were definitely becoming easier. I was getting back to my old groove and my body was responding. Again, I'm used to lifelong exercise, so being out of shape is kind of abnormal for me. So don't be discouraged if you don't have the same results. You can and will get there too, but if you've already been there, it's always easier to bounce back. After another 2 weeks, Nova and I met up once more for the ultimate showdown. Who would get the Amazon gift card worth $200 of Popcorners? Or at least that's what I was planning on using it for. Remember, the winner is based on best improvement overall, so winning 1 or 2 events doesn't matter all that much if I get blown out again in the swim portion. In pull-ups, Nova had improved by exactly 100%, meaning she did 2. I did 9, edging out a slightly larger lead than at the week 2 mark over her. Next, we did push-ups, and this time Nova banged out 25 while I hit 35. A decent improvement for both of us. However, next was the dreaded swim test. Who could tread water the longest? Now, I figured there was no way I was catching up to Nova, but if I could close the lead, I'd end up the winner. Could I add just like 10 minutes to my time to get closer to her whopping 43 minutes? The answer to that question was no. No, I could not. I managed 14 minutes while Nova decided to show off and tread water for 1 hour and 1 minute, plus a few seconds. She insisted I include that part as well. And again, she only stopped because she was getting bored and her neck was sore from keeping her head up out of the water because she didn't want to get her hair wet. To say that this was a total blowout is an understatement. The winner was without a doubt Nova, who utterly decimated me. And again, aerobics might have never been my strong point. It's just so boring. So, was this exercise routine worth it? Absolutely. You can see that Nova stayed in the same great shape she was already in, while I managed to shed 4 pounds and start getting back to my typical body shape. Needless to say, the girlfriend vigorously approves of me getting back into shape, and I'm glad that I've healed enough to get off the couch and be active again. In just 1 month, my biceps also grew from 14 inches to 15 inches, packing on an entire inch of muscle with a pretty simple routine. However, again, my body bounces back faster and easier because I'm used to being fit. So don't get discouraged if you don't improve as fast as me. Trust me, you'll get there. Honestly, while this routine wasn't a comprehensive exercise routine, it's a great place for you to start if you're at home and don't have access to a gym or maybe are feeling a bit intimidated about going. I highly recommend you try it and build on it with some free weights. There's a ton of free weight exercises you can do from home that will rocket your muscle growth, so just do a quick Google search. If you're looking to cut stubborn weight like my belly fat though, the most important part of all is cutting calories. Believe me, I know that's hard because I love eating. It's like my second favorite thing in the world, with the first being the girlfriend. But if I can cut out eating junk food, then you can too. So hop onto your 30-day routine and then come back here in the comment section and let us know how you did. Now go check out Living Out of My Car for a Week challenge, or click this other video instead.